Good morning, everyone. Warm greetings to everyone. This is Padmashini from Sri SRNM College, Satur. I'm happy to share some of my views on Afro American women writers in subaltern studies. Some of the Afro American women writers had been included in your syllabus. So I'm happy to share some of the writers here, their autobiographical experiences, the situation, the experiences which force them to write into their own literature are going to be discussed now. Toni Morrison, she is one of the towering personality of Afro American women writers. She is considered as the mother of all Afro American women writers. We are going to see some of the works which have been written by Toni Morrison here in this video. Generally, when we talk about Afro American society, Africans, they have migrated and started to settle down in America. America is an alien nation. It is a different nation where they are going to capture different kind of culture. They are facing so many troubles. They faced a lot of problems when they tried to settle down, when they tried to move from Africa into America. That had been expressed by them in their own writing in Afro American literature. Here in this video, we particularly focus on Afro American women. So generally, when we talk about Afro-American society, it is a disparate society. It is not a homogeneous society. It is a heterogeneous society. Based on gender, it has been differentiated. Based on race, based on there are human rights. Okay, based on human rights, it had been segregated. It has been divided into so many parts. Then stereotype, gender stereotype is one of the most important issue when we talk about Afro American society. Apartheid is it is the most basic issue when we talk about Afro American society. All the women had been discriminated, particularly the black women. They had been racially discriminated based on color. They had been kept inferior in the society. They had been separated. Lot of problems arised due to this indifference in the society. Generally, when we introduce Afro American literature throws light on the literary production. It talks about the African people who migrated and settled down. They started to settle down in America. When we analyze the status of Africans in America, they were having very lower status. Their status were very low in America. Then there were a lot of social historical events which pushed them to be writers. The travel between Africa into America exists from the colonial period. It started to exist from the colonial period till now. We are getting Afro American literature. So it had been included in the post colonial literature nowadays. These writers express their own feelings of isolation, social injustice, and slavery in their writings. They started to raise their voiceless slogans. How they became voiceless. Already they have entered into the voiceful nations. Being a woman, they have been suppressed. Being a black woman, they have been cornered. They have been kept aside from the society, from the entire society. So it had been considered as the term double marginalization. So they became voiceless. Their voiceless slogan, they started to express their voiceless slogan. So the writings, the literary production became the weapon of all their problems. To solve all their problems, they used This literary production is the only weapon to get liberation socially, politically, economically, and psychologically. The term subaltern is a Latin term. Subalternus means subalternus is a Latin term. It means all others. So it is it talks about the writers who do not belong to that particular nation. So it describes the people who are subordinate, who had been subordinated in that country in terms of rank, class, caste, gender, race, etc. So, somebody who has been marginalized and oppressed comes under in this category. In subaltern writing, the writers are basically marginalized and they have been oppressed. In a lot of critical theories, like particularly in post-colonial theory, the term subaltern assigns the people who are socially, geographically outside the hegemonic power structure of the colonial homeland. They have been expressed like that. Subaltern consciousness is one of the characteristics, most important characteristics of the subalternity. Gayatri Spivak, she is the most important subaltern writer. She describes the term subaltern for the colonized and the oppressed people, and she talks about the working class group of people based on then gender, women whose voice has been muted. She says when she explains the term subaltern, the women. The women's voice had been muted. She explains in that term subaltern when she explains the term subaltern. The concept subaltern studies basically derive from Marxism and post colonialism concepts. Then the subaltern theory is a subdivision of post-colonial theory. The concept subaltern basically originated from post-colonial theory. Subaltern literature covers the themes such as Dalits, the deprived, unrecognized, marginalized, neglected, and indigenous sections of society. All the colonized nations of the world have a subaltern identity. Afro American literature mainly focuses on freedom and abolition of slavery. There are many themes of writings, particularly the main when we focus on main themes of the writings are segregation, lynching, migration, and the women's suffragette movement. Women, they were striving hard to uplift themselves through their literary movement. Hybridity is the most important concept when we evaluate the term Afro American literature. It is the most popular term which fixes to the term. They are caught between the dual identities. All the writers are caught between the dual identities. They are able to follow their neither their black culture, they are unable to follow either their black culture and or they cannot fit into the white practices because they are born and brought up in Africa. Once they started to settle down in America, there are pluralistic of culture, so they are having dilemma whether to follow this or that. In such condition, hybridization in culture. That means there was a confused status in the state of mind, whether to follow their own traditional practices or whether to give up their traditional practices or to follow the new one which they are following in America. And there are still people longing for their own sense of belonging in colonized nations. One of the popular theoretician Henry Louis Gates Jr. he argues that An understanding of African mythology is an important backdrop against reading Afro American writing. There are a lot of mythical elements roots the novels from the African tradition and provide a cultural bridge between the history of their origination and the reality of their life in USA. Already we discussed about the term double marginalization. Alice Walker, she is also the most important female writer in Afro American studies. All her fiction explores the cultural, national, and linguistic backgrounds with a view to arriving at a national, transnational, and transcultural subaltern feminist aesthetics. Most of the women writers, irrespective of their race, caste, sex, nationality, and religion, they are victims of marginalization. They are all considered as they are victims of marginalization. It deprives their dignity as human beings. All the women, consequently, they suffer with oppression, denial, erasure, and prosecution from patriarchal dominance. Double marginalization is a grotesque phenomenon faced by subaltern women who belong to certain ethnic groups, races, and castes which are demarcated as terribly inferior. Maya Angelou, she is the one of the most important, noteworthy feminist poet in Afro-American studies. All her poems, particularly her famous poem is Phenomenal Women. It talks about liberal feminism. It talks about liberal feminism. The poetry Phenomenal Woman shows her confidence towards her appearance as black women. In the poetry Phenomenal Woman, she talks like this: it is the fire in my eyes and the flash in my teeth, the swing in my waist and the joy in my feet. Still I rise. She says, Still I rise. Still I Rise is the best poem written by her. It describes the difficulties of black women living amidst the whites. It explains the second wave feminism, that is radical feminism. She also says, you may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I will rise. In her another poem, Caged Bird, she analyzes how the tradition, the history of the black people tied them to be submissive. She longs for freedom in the poem as, but a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So he opens his throat to sing. Maya Angelou's poems are platform to champion the cause of all black women. They are known for the empowerment of black women. She utilizes her writing as a tool for resisting against ideologies, hegemonies, and methodologies that have silenced and marginalized black women. She illuminated the lives of so many black people with her incandescent words using her poetical lines. So we have talked and we have discussed about the two important writers of Afro American studies. Maya Angelou and Toni Morrison are the two important writers we had seen in this video. In the next video, we can discuss the other writers who explored their own ways to prove themselves as the Afro American women writers. So thank you everyone for your patient listening. Thank you.